Now, India's foreign minister has said that trade negotiations with Washington are continuing, but there are lines that New Delhi needs to defend. It comes after the latest round of trade talks, which were due to start today in New Delhi, were called off. That dashed hopes of relief from additional U.S. tariffs, which are set to kick in on Wednesday, raising overall U.S. import taxes on India goods to a steep 50%. For more on how Indian exporters are feeling right now, let's bring in our India business correspondent Archana Shukla, who joins from the Bharat Diamond Bourse in Mumbai. Archana, tell us a bit more about how the mood is on the ground there.
Well, there's absolute nervousness amongst the exporters, manufacturers who precisely depend on the US market for a large part of their business. They really don't know where they stand at this point in time. You know, I'm here at the Bharat Diamond Bourse. It's one of the biggest trading markets for diamonds and jewelry. And across these buildings, these exporters are sitting, waiting to understand what happens from 27th August. Because if the 50% tariffs come in, and it seems imminent now, considering the talks between US and India, while the foreign minister says are continuing, there isn't an indication that the 27th August deadline would be met, or there would be some impasse around that. So to discuss about and talk about what really is going on, especially in the diamond and the jewelry sector that does about $10 billion worth of exports to the US market, I have with me Ajesh Mehta. He is a diamond manufacturer and exporter and also a convener of the Export Promotion Council here. Ajesh, thank you so much for joining us here. Tell us, it's been 3 weeks. There still isn't any indication that the 50% tariffs are going away. How are businesses preparing for it at this point?
Thank you, Archana, for inviting me to this event, this news channel. Just to give you a brief, the situation on the ground is really, really grim because we don't know the retailers. When we talk to them, they are put all the orders for the month of September on hold, and they are just in their dilemma whether tariffs are 25% or 50%. So they have put everything on hold till clarity is there. And when we talk to the jewelry units in SEEPs, that is export processing zones, they are 75% dependent on US market. These were designed for this market. And when we talk to them, their worker capacity is at 30-40% right now. Maybe they are supporting the other markets. But we anticipate job losses in the coming few months because we don't know the clarity whether these jobs may shift to other countries like Dubai, Turkey, where the tariffs are much more friendlier. And when we talk to about the diamond sector, Surat is the biggest cutting and polishing center in India, and they are working at 50% capacity today because of the festive seasons. We are not retaining them till Diwali, and post Diwali, everyone will take their phone calls whether to reopen factories or continue with the jobs.
Yeah, we heard a lot of pre-shipments were being done to meet the 27th deadline. Will the businesses be able to absorb some sort of an impact because of that?
So absolutely, yeah. So initially there were a lot of exports done before April, and then again with 10% tariffs kicked in the month of April, and in the fear that it will be 25% or more, people did exports in the month of July. So that was the rush orders. So if I share some numbers, the last 4 months, that is April to July 2025 versus April to July 2024, there was a drop of 32%. Even though we did a rush order in these 4 months, but still you see the 10% was a big impact already for our sector.
Right. So margins are pretty thin in this sector, you were telling me earlier. Explain to us how the 25% impacts and 50%.
So we should understand that we are dealing with a luxury product, and this luxury product has high ticket value, but the value chain has very thin margins across the pipeline, and we cannot afford to absorb 10, 25, 50% because the American consumers are very price sensitive.
Right.
And
right.
they will not pay extra price because they are if these 25% kicks in or 50% kicks in, it's as good as an embargo. It won't be happening.
Right, Ajesh, we understand this is the situation. 50% would precisely mean an embargo for most businesses. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, Ajesh Mehta, thanks very much for that and for speaking with your guest there as well. We're out of time here on